How did you hear about vetdisabilities.com?
I heard from them by a referral from a family member.
Now, what were your years of service, and what branch of military in which did you serve?
I served 20 years in the United States Air Force from August 1969 to August 1989.
Okay, so you were drafted, correct?
Yes, I was drafted, and I joined the United States Air Force August 6, 1969.
Did you serve in the Vietnam War?
I served 2 tours in Southeast Asia, in Thailand, 70, 71, and 73, 74.
Now, when you retired from the Air Force, did you receive any assistance at all with the disability process?
No, I did not. They had us file for disability, and I did that, and that's the only assistance that I received.
What was the result after you filed for disability in 1989?
The results, they rated me for 3 conditions with 0 compensation.
All right, so fast forward now 35 years later from when you first applied for disability benefits with vetdisabilities.com. What was the driving force or the driving factor in you finally applying for those benefits after almost 35 years?
I talked to a lot of veterans, some neighbors who also served in Thailand and went back and applied for benefits, and they said I should do the same thing. Said don't worry about the length of time since the last time I filed a claim. So after talking to a lot of veterans and reading about other Thailand veterans that had similar problems initially after their first disability claims, that's what made me go ahead and apply a second time.
Okay, so what was that process like working with vetdisabilities.com? Did you find it a little complicated because of the computer and technology?
No, it wasn't too bad. Just
Okay.
It was a lengthy process. And I did have some computer knowledge that helped me out a lot in completing the paperwork for the claim. But G&G made it a lot simpler. They provided step-by-step instructions on what to do and how to do it, and all I had to do was just follow the instructions.
Now, what was the result from your working with vetdisability.com?
The end result was my first claim that I had filed for since 35 years. I came back with it came back with an 80% rating. So I was rated 80% the first time. Filed a second claim, and that subsequent claim, they gave me 100% disability. I filed 2 claims with vet disability, which resulted in 100% compensation.
When you got that 100% rating, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel pretty good. I felt fantastic. And I was wondering why I waited so long to reapply. So it made me feel pretty good, and I was completely satisfied with the work that they did processing my claims.
Now, with that additional tax-free benefit that you now receive each month, how has life changed for you as a veteran financially?
It's improved tremendously. I like the fact that I'm exempt from paying personal property tax, because personal property taxes get pretty expensive, and also real estate taxes. So those are the 2 biggest benefits for me. You can select one vehicle that you own to put an exemption in for personal property tax, and so I've done that. So it's helped me save a lot of money. And the other thing I like about it is I wasn't going to the VA before, but I go to the VA once a year to have my annual physical done. And the lab work they do is very intensive lab work. They run tests on everything, and it's more complete lab work than I get from a civilian doctor.
Now, with the in addition to that, with the financial benefits that you receive, do you find that you've been able to help others in your family because of that additional income that you've been able to receive from vetdisabilities.com helping you with your claim?
Yes, I do what I can to help family members, and I've always done that, but this makes it a lot easier for me to do it.
If you know any other veterans that might be on the fence about applying for the disability through vetdisabilities.com, what advice or input would you give them?
Don't think twice, just do it. They know how to connect the dots. I know some of the things seem like I had some questions sometimes. Why should I have to do this step, whatever? It seemed like it was unnecessary. But after I finished the process, I completely understood why they had you go through those steps. They coach you, they teach you, and all you have to do is just follow the dots to get to the finish line. And like I said, I only filed 2 claims. I went zero compensation to 80% and 80% to 100%. That's my testimony for vetsdisability.com.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your service, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, so before you came to vetdisabilities.com, how and when did you file your first disability claim? Because you had a rating before coming to us, correct?
That's correct. So when I first got started, filed my first claim, went through TAPS when I was about to retire, and using the services on base, the disability services on the base I retired from. And that's where I first got submitted my first package.
Okay. When you got off out of the military and you filed your first claim, what was your rating you received when you got out of the military? You remember?
When I originally got out, I started out initially with 70%.
Okay. When you filed that claim, were any of your conditions denied, or you got all your conditions approved at that time?
No, I had several denied.
Yeah, several denials?
Yes.
Okay. So was it an organization, veteran service organization? Did you file your claim yourself, or how did it go when you got out the military?
No, I did everything through the Veteran Services Organization on base.
Okay.
And like I said, I had all of the items that you saw when I gave you my package.
Okay.
Were there initially.
Mm-hmm.
Some just didn't have ratings to them. Some were said not service connected.
Okay. So you did get some conditions did get denied when you filed a claim because you had not service.
Absolutely.
Connected. Okay. All right, cool. Now, years have passed by. I guess you had been out of the military for several years before you came to us, because when did you first come to us and file your claim? You remember what year you came to us?
I think I came to Veteran, at the time it was G&G and Associates.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Veteran Disabilities.
Right.
And I came to you all, I believe, in 2019.
Yeah.
It was in 2019, yes.
Okay. And just for your information, yeah, we still G&G Associates. VetDisabilities.com is just the veterans leg of the business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Multifaceted business. So yes, G&G Associates and VetDisabilities.com are the same business.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
It's just the veterans leg of it. All right. So you came to us in 2019. How many times from the time you got out the military to when you came to us had you filed a claim? You remember how many times you filed a claim?
About 3 times my initial.
Mm-hmm. You got 70%.
And I got 70%. Mm-hmm. One time after that, I got a 10% increase to 80.
Okay.
And then the third time I filed a claim, it was denied.
You were denied on that claim?
Yes.
And each time you filed that claim, you went through the Veterans Organization?
I went through the same organization on base.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So at that point, I guess you, matter of fact, how did you say you found out how did you find out about VetDisabilities.com, G&G Associates, as you call it?
It's ironic. I was because I'm a realtor,
mm-hmm.
and at the time I was in my office selling new homes,
mm-hmm.
and I met Mr. Gray. Walked in my office, and we were just talking about real estate, and then as we went along through the transaction of, securing a property for him, and I started getting some information about him, and then I started being curious as to what he was into or what you were into.
Yeah.
And
I'm Mr. Gray.
yeah, you are
Everybody
Mr. Gray. Yeah. So in our discussions, you let me know that, you did, vet disability claims. And I said, amazing. There was a reason that we came together. I'm a realtor and you were doing disability claims. So we could, we had things that we could help each other with, and it all worked together.
Okay. All right, cool. So, so after we met, you decided to use vetdisabilities.com to assist you with your VA claim. How did that work out for you?
It was smooth. When I first did the 3 previous, they were nowhere near as smooth. I followed all the instructions that I was given, that you had given me, and I spoke with your assistants in your office, and did everything that I was asked to do, gave you my records, and the rest was just, I would get contacts and have the discussions that I had to make, and the next thing I knew it was beautiful.
Okay.
100%. When I received that notice, it was a new day.
All right. So
Yeah.
since we sit here, I was going to veer on this to talk about your decision. How did it feel when you saw that you had got 100%? What was that feeling when you got that notice in the mail? Or I don't know if you looked online and saw it online, because I get clients sometimes, they go look online before they get the notice in the mail. How did you know you had got 100%, and how did you feel that day you saw it? Especially as long as you have been trying to get your claim approved, and the denials you had gone through, and the small increases.
I believe I was notified by email initially, and then I went online into my e-benefits account, and then I received the package actually in the mail in my hand. And when I did that, and when you first get that, and you look at the charts, and it shows you, the different ratings and the money that's associated with each. It changed, and then everything that goes along with 100%, it's a true game changer. Okay. It puts you in a completely different category of disabled vets.
Okay.
And there's so many things that go along with it, which is is beautiful.
Okay. What would you say were the biggest challenges that you had prior to coming to Vet Disabilities? Because I know you said, again, you got your claim done when you got out the military. Then you filed again and you got a 10% increase, and then you were denied. What were the biggest challenges do you remember from when you went through the claims process before, through the Veteran Service Organization you used, that probably wasn't a challenge that you had when you came, I'm assuming, when you came to Vet Disabilities?
I would say the medical visits. When I was doing with the medical service on base, the people that they had on base were more like administrators, versus it didn't seem like they had the actual knowledge of the entire process and everything that you needed to maximize, your disability compensation.
Now, when you say medical administrator, you're talking about people who may be reviewing your records, who helped you work the application process, you saying?
Yeah, so, when I went through with the base services, of course you are meeting and making appointments with the VA physicians and all of their people that they schedule you to see. And not every time that they really listen, I didn't feel they really listened to my concerns or the things that I was saying that was already noted in my records. Okay. But they just say, okay, it didn't link properly, and once they see something was denied, to me it didn't feel like they were giving it serious consideration to increase, because they feel, okay, you got some already.
Okay. I mean, that's a big deal. I'm glad you.
And I had other people, friends of mine, that have said the same thing as they was going through the process.
Okay, they felt like they just weren't getting attention to detail.
Yes.
Probably feeling like more like a number.
Yes.
They were just trying to hurry up and get you in and get you out.
Absolutely.
More so than anything. Okay. And so, in the same similar situation, because you had the opportunity, as part of vet disabilities, you had the opportunity to go to a CMP exam. I'm assuming that's what you're referencing, the CMP exam. You had the opportunity to use your own providers to complete the exam or use providers that work with us. And my understanding, you.
Hello, my name is Anthony Jones, and I'm a 33-year veteran civil service member, and I've been asked and accepted with great pride the honor to provide this live and authentic testimonial about my lived experience utilizing and working with G&G Associates. As you can see, I'm reading from my notes that I wanted to write down because I didn't want to commit anything to memory. I wanted to come across as authentic and genuine as possible. I'm going to answer and be reading and answering questions, a series of questions that were provided to me from Mr. Sar Gray, representing G&G Associates. I'm going to read the questions and then I'm going to answer them as truthfully and genuinely and honestly as possible. So bear with me. I'm new to this and just trying to do it the right way to come across as authentic and honest as possible because working with G&G Associates definitely was a life-changing experience. So here we go. First question, number one. What challenges were you facing before reaching out to vetdisabilities.com with getting your claim approved or getting the rating you think you deserved? So that's a lot in that question. And I tried to narrow it down because it was a lot. It was a large process that took place working with G&G Associates, but it was a smooth transition. So if I could say there were any challenges, the challenge I had was prior to working with them was trying to get the preparations and the knowledge that was required for filling out all of the forms and submitting the forms that the VA requires when you're trying to go for your disability. So, and back checking on the question, what challenges were you facing before reaching out? Preparation, form fill out, knowing what forms to fill out and what to put on the forms was the most challenging prior to reaching out to vetdisabilities.com. Question number two, how did you hear about us and what made you decide to trust us to vadisabilities.com with your VA claim? So truthfully, I was referred from a fellow veteran that just happened to be a neighbor of mine. And he had been talking to me about G&G Associates probably 3 to 6 months prior to me actually then going to work with G&G Associates, again, because I was trying to navigate the system myself, in all honesty. Okay, so that's the answer to that. I was referred from a fellow veteran who happened to be my neighbor. Question number three, did you have a rating or file a claim prior to coming to VA Disabilities? So no, I didn't have a rating, but I did attempt 2 years in advance, again, trying to navigate the system on my own through just the regular VA channels, going down to the VA in the area I lived in at the time. But I never was able to finish the process. So, and unfortunately, at the first time I was doing it, they had there was no limit on when you could submit and when they would, start working on once you had submitted, once they started working on it. But at the time when I missed that first delay, the second time around when I went to go submit, that's when they came up with the new ruling that you were only going to be able to put in every year. In other words, if you filed within a year, you had up to that year to get everything into the VA before they would start working on your claim. And then after a year, you had to start all over again. So I did that one time, missed that year mark. The next time I decided to go with G&G Associates. Question number 4. What part of the VA claims or appeals process did you find the most difficult before you came to get assistance with the vadisabilities.com? So basically that's going back to question number 1 for me. The process, the paperwork, knowing what to put on the paperwork, knowing what to claim, all of that really was very challenging. Like I I commend any veteran that's able to do it without any assistance from professionals like G&G Associates. Question number 5. Have you been denied before on a previous disability claim that we were able to successfully assist you with? So no. My first time I put in with G&G Associates, everything was love out the door. Question number 6. How did working with us make a difference in your VA claims process based on your prior experience? It made all the difference in the world. From the first phone call that I received from G&G Associates, the guidance that they gave me, explaining the process and, making sure that I understood what was required, making sure I got in all of the necessary documentation that I needed to get, and then just starting the process of filling out the required forms and knowing what to put on form. G&G Associates guided me through all of that. Question number 7. Can you share a specific moment when you felt that dealing with VADisabilities.com was particularly valuable to you? So for me, this one here is the phone call process that took place. There were several phone calls with VetDisabilities.com, G&G Associates, but each call was very thorough and very process oriented. So they made sure I understood what I was working with, what I was to get together, and what I was to put on the forms. And they guided me through the entire process on that, which was very smooth, and the transition was awesome. So I would say the phone calls, the personal connection of talking to someone from the association, from G&G Associates, that guided me through. Question number 8. What would you say to someone considering or contemplating using VetDisabilities.com to assist them with their VA claims and process? I'm living proof that working with them ended up being the best decision I made in my entire military experience life in reference to dealing with disability and the benefits that I was entitled to. So to this day, I encourage all veterans that I come across that have any disabilities or any questions about it, I automatically refer them to Vet Disabilities and or G&G Associates. Question number 9. If you could say one thing to give another veteran unsure about getting help, what would it be? Again, same thing. Hands down, G&G Associates handled everything perfectly. The transition was smooth. Even though it took a year for the process, that wasn't on them. The year is basically getting everything to the VA correctly. Nothing that I had submitted to the VA was ever kicked back. The only thing, if I could go back to one of the other questions, was a little challenging when VA would ask me to go do a CMP. I would reach out to G&G. They would get back to me promptly and let me know, Mr. Jones, you don't have to do this. This is what's in place. We've already submitted the required forms that will cover this request here. So, again, I'm going to encourage all veterans, roll with G&G Associates. They will handle and help you all the way through. Question number 10. How did it feel to finally receive the benefits you felt you deserved? It was an overwhelming and emotional shock and awe response, and to be perfectly honest, G&G Associates never promised me a particular percentage. They said they would do everything in their power to get the information correct, make sure everything is submitted in a timely manner, make sure we don't miss any deadlines. But they never made me any promises about a percentage. And I remember talking to one of them, asking what did they think my odds were in terms of course, everybody wants the 100%, but you never know based on what your paperwork is and how it's submitted. And then the VA rating system, as all veterans know, it's not the easiest system to navigate. But in any event, even when I asked the direct question, did he think I would get 100%? And I remember him saying to me, we always shoot for 100%, but we never guarantee 100%. Well, I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the first time out the gate, the first time dealing with G&G Associates, I was blessed with 100%. And that was an overwhelming and emotional shock because honestly, all I wanted was 50% at the time because, again, being a veteran, I wanted to ensure that I at least would still get my military retirement check. But when that 100% came through and I happened to be in physical therapy at the time that it happened, it was Christmas. It happened in December, so it was like Christmas for the rest of my life, the day that happened. Question 11, okay. Have you worked with other companies before coming to us for your claim? The answer is a simple no. G&G was the only company I went with, and I'm glad that I did. Question 12. How has receiving 100% disability affected you emotionally and financially? So emotionally, like I said, it was overwhelming. It was the best feeling I ever had. It was like finally I felt like I got everything I deserved based on the injuries that I sustained during my military career. Just going through the benefits and understanding that, I'm now blessed with having health care for the rest of my life that I don't have to pay for directly. I did pay for it through my service and through my time in the military, so I was entitled to it. But to get it and not have to actually spend money on it now is the best feeling ever. That's a financial gain. Lifestyle changed, wasn't a tremendous change, but it definitely put me in a much more comfortable zone of my lifestyle. And then again, like I said, emotionally, it was just the best feeling that I had ever experienced at any time in my life outside of having my kids and things of that nature. So it was definitely a great experience. And then finally, question 13. What are you now able to do with the disability benefits that you were not able to do before? Good question. Before, I was on limited benefits, so I was still under my wife's health care benefits at the time I was going through the process. So that was okay because it was still coming, out of pocket expenses that I would have. But once I got my 100%, that took care of dental, that took care of eye, that took care of ear, it took care of everything. And then with the injuries that I've sustained throughout the years, I'm now able to go and receive the care that I worked for and served for with no worries whatsoever. So any emergencies that come up, anything that, happens to me physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that can be handled now 100% through the VA because of the experience and because of the great work that they did for me at G&G Associates. And on top of that, I do have a grandchild that I'll be able to send to college at some point when she's ready to go. So that's just an extra benefit that maybe a lot of veterans don't know about, but that's a part of the process as a 100% veteran. So again, hoping I answered these questions as genuinely, as authentic as possible. I'm looking forward to hearing the feedback from Mr. Gray. And again, all veterans, any veteran, if you have any questions related to anything to do with your disability, putting in a claim, working with the VA, start and don't stop and only go with G&G Associates. Again, they're at vetdisabilities.com. Best company to me in the world. Have a great day.
What would you say to someone considering or even contemplating using vetdisabilities.com to assist them with their VA claims process?
Well, vetdisabilities.com has a great team that they in their midst. So they are helpful. They don't look at you as a number. They look at you as an individual. They look at you that they care about you from start to finish. They don't, and they continue to communicate with you after your rating's completed. I've seen it multiple times for myself to where I had approved from 90% to 100%. Both times where they followed up with me and see how I'm doing, if I'm doing okay, I'm getting better or getting worse health-wise. And I would say to an individual, believe in this company because they definitely believe in you.
Okay. If you could say one thing to another veteran who is unsure about getting help because maybe they just contemplating or know if they have a claim or maybe in your own testimony or your own reason, maybe why you delayed,
right?
What would you tell them? What would you tell that person why they might want to move forward getting that disability?
So I was, again, apprehensive with vetdisability.com because my good friend was hounding me about it. But life changes, life happens. COVID happened, and then, going to work every day, and my mental capacity was not at full 100%, and my ailments were getting worse. So I had made it a choice to go through vetdisability.com. And when I went through them and went through the process and got my claim got approved from 90 to 100%. I knew that the best thing for me at that time was to move on, leave work, and have a good life, a good health of life. Excuse me. Nowadays, I'm stress-free from what I dealt with in the work environment. I don't stress a lot of those things anymore. And then my health is definitely important for me to deal with on a daily basis. And that's, for me, that's the greatest feeling in the world. You can wake up every day and not to be stressed about the littlest things, you know? And now I'm thankful for VetDisability.com to help me through those.
Okay. So how did it feel when you finally received the benefits that you knew you deserved, just didn't know how to go about getting them? How did it feel when you finally saw that 100%?
When I got that 100% notification, it was the greatest thing happening to me in the world. It was one of the greatest chapters in my life, because I knew that my quality of life would be better once I say, I'm done with this job, I'm done with this, the task at hand, and I can live a better life with my 100% disability. I realized, based on research, I found out that in the state of Maryland, I don't have to pay property tax. So there are certain benefits also with having 100%, where you get a handicap decal to the MVA. Those are one of the incentives that I dealt with, which I'm happy to utilize. Mm-hmm. So it was just been, to me, it's been a weight lifted off my shoulders. I can wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, take care of my health, continue to take care of my health, and just move on to my next chapter in life.
Okay. All right, so that's good. So I know I heard you say that, you know, you were able to finally walk away from corporate America. Mm-hmm. That's the contracting world you had talked about.
Correct.
How long did it take you to say, I'm done, after you got your 100% rating?
So I got my 100% in October. In November, I told my company I am resigning my position the end of the year. So it was less than a month before I told my company that I was resigning my position. And to me, it was, again, in early discussions, it was the best feeling in the world.
Okay. And so now you're having time to do the things you really want to do. You're really having a chance to really retire.
Correct.
And take care of yourself mentally, physically, yes, and emotionally.
Yes.
And I'm assuming, I would say, your mental health is a lot better than it was when you...
My mental health, in comparison to what it was 2 years ago, has been a lot less.
All right.
Right.
That's good. All right, so I appreciate you. I'm glad that you enjoyed dealing with VetDisability.com. I'm glad we was able to serve you and make sure you got the rating you deserve, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate you doing this testimony, and also without a doubt, we appreciate even the referrals you've sent us, because I know you sent a few referrals.
Yes, I have.
And I'm glad we was able to be life-changing for you.
Thank you so much.
All right. So how did working with us make a difference in your VA claims process based on your prior experience when you filed your disability claim?
It was really pretty simple. You guys made it real simple for me. Just told me what to do as far as getting my medical records and things like that ready and getting all my paperwork in. And from there, it was like, hey, I didn't have to do anything else. I just waited for the process to be completed.
Can you share a specific moment when you felt that dealing with us was particularly valuable to you?
I was valuable every time I did a claim with you guys. I did my first claim with you guys, getting with 100%, and that was very easy and went well and helped my income increase and for my disabilities. And then I actually filed another claim with you guys, went total and permanent, and that was an easy process also, and I got great results out of that also.
Okay, so what would you say to somebody who was considering or contemplating using VetDisabilities.com to assist them with the VA claims process? What would you tell them?
I tell them, don't be stupid and stop delaying and go get it done, because the longer the delay and I've heard a lot of stories about a lot of places that are more expensive or take longer and experience isn't as good. So I know my experience with you guys was good, so I would highly recommend it and make sure that they get all that stuff in on time and get it done.
Okay, so if you could say one thing to another veteran who's unsure about getting help and filing that VA disabilities claim and how it benefited you and how it's maybe changed your life, what would you tell that veteran?
I would tell them quit being stupid and go get the money that you're owed. I mean, you serve for whatever branch of service you serve for all the career, and you have injuries and stuff that's going to affect you long term later on in age when you get older. So like me, I mean, I'm not really falling apart, but I feel aches and pains I didn't feel when I was younger. So you need to get what's owed to you.
Okay, and one last thing, how did it feel when you finally got 100%? And how did it affect your life or change your income, change your family's life? Tell me anything and how you felt once you finally got that 100%.
I'll tell you, it felt great. It felt like a birthday, Christmas, and New Year's all put together. And I mean, it's life changing when you do go there because I mean, you're getting this check for the rest of your life, and you're getting a check that, depending on what you get rated at, that could be more than a lot of people make in a year. So.
Okay. Is there any particular benefit or anything that probably stands out to you that getting your 100% probably does? Like, you know, maybe.
Oh well, if you have kids, my kids going to college for free after I got rated at 100 total and permanent. House and cars, you go tax free with things like that. There's a lot of benefits you can do. I'm a fisherman. I fish free in Virginia now, lifetime license. It's all kind of benefits. You just got to do the extra work once you get qualified, and they'll do the job for you. So when you get your rating, you do extra work and you find out all kinds of things you can do.
Okay, so would you recommend folks come to vetdisability.com?
I would highly recommend folks come to veteransdisability.com.
Okay, all right, vetdisability.com. So I appreciate that. Thank you for your being a good customer, a loyal customer, and really we appreciate the fact that you sent many clients to us to help us assist them with their vetdisability.com.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. You guys did just much more for me than I did for you guys. So, and the price was right, and appreciate it.
Okay, so you could say, I guess you got value for your money. Think you got
I got my value. My value for my money was can't even describe it. It was great.
Okay, all right, thanks. Appreciate it for your time. And
I'm not getting paid for this testimony.
All right, appreciate that. You have a good day.
All right.